Okay, GM guys. So this is new series on the beginner series that we'll be hosting. So we've done with the season 1. So this is actually the trading beginner series season 2. So and what we are actually trying to do here is that we're trying to bring out the concepts that has been existing, but the complex part we are trying to make it way much simpler and easy to use. So that's basically what Traders Gray is all about. Simplicity, right? So we are just simplifying everything that we could come across. All type of concepts actually. So for this part, we are going to be discussing the phases of price and how to use them. And as you know that there's many phases of price that differs. You've got the manipulation, distribution, accumulation, and then there is this consolidation and expansion, retracement. All those things are all part of phases of price. But we are going to be using some key major words that is well known, which is the accumulation. As you can see, this is when the price is building up, right? Price tends to move sideways. No major high or lows are taken out at this point, right? So that's basically the reason why it is called accumulation. Price moving sideways in a range. So for you to identify this thing, you have to have your own range marked out, right? And then you have to have your sectional range, which could be the Asia section, the New York section, and the London section, right? Asia, London, New York. So you want to think that this point, this ranging accumulation phase is the Asia section. And then the manipulation phase will occur during London section. Sometimes it tends to occur during New York sometimes, but majority tends to occur during London. So then New York then distribute. So in simpler terms, you want to be trading the New York section, given that the New York section tends to distribute most of the time, depending on the pair that you are trading. When you are trading a pair that is more active during New York session, so this pair we always distribute 70% of the time during New York section. So then we have the buy side liquidity, and then we have the sell side liquidity. So in layman terms, what we're basically doing is that we are targeting the buy side to the sell side, then the sell side to the buy side. That's basically it. So the manipulation is the trap. Price temporarily moves outside the range, often taking out obvious highs or lows, and then reverses. So this can be trap for breakout traders after stop losses are triggered, and then it goes the intended way. For example, breakout traders, once price breaks out this range, the breakout traders wants to long it, but that's not the case because our stop losses is here, and then price drops down. So in layman terms, you want to wait for accumulation, you want to wait for price to manipulate, and then you want to participate in the distribution, right? So that's it. So now using the chart, this is the accumulation phase, and then uh I want to highlight another thing that I didn't say earlier. You have what we call markup. When price is consolidating, and then first to take out highs like this and then started dropping. So this is SmackDown, right? This is SmackDown. Then when you flip the narrative, that is when price started ranging, this is when you want price to take out the major low, but it forced to do that and then started moving up higher and higher, higher. So this is what you normally call a mark up, right? So then we have the accumulation, right? And then this was during Asia section, and then price did something like this. Now you have to understand that price first to take out this high here, but it just started moving and going higher, and then after the accumulation, price started distributing, right? And then took out this high here, took out the high. So once this high has been taken out, so what did price did again? Price actually did manipulate down, right? And then took out another low and then started distributing higher, right? But I guess this is not, you don't want to participate here unless you could wait for this, right? Because that day I took the entry here because we've got the expansion retracement. Once the retracement has already occurred, then you have to expand again. So this is another phase of price. So that occurred that day. So I remember taking this trade. Yeah. And then targeting this high here. Right. So this was 4 is to 5 or 4 is to 8, almost 5. And then we had London manipulation. So this is a good example of what I was saying. Accumulation. Now you want to notice that price didn't, you have to understand that price did not take out this high. Rather, it took out the low. This was the low, this was the low, everything here. So let's just mark out the range. And then London accumulate, and then New York distributed. So the distribution was occurring from this point right here, and then price started moving higher, right? So what am I saying is that you want to participate during the distribution. This is when you want, this is your active time, right? Participate during the distribution. Accumulation, price didn't manipulate during London. It just expanded because already you're in a continuation. So then skipping that part to this one. So we had accumulation and then we had the manipulation. And you want to understand that. Let me mark the high. So this is the high, and then price closed inside, and then we had the CSD right here. So the reason why I took this trade here was because I used the gam box and then had my entry at the 50% of it, because when you drop on a lower time frame, this was an NVG, and already this was an expansion. This was an expansion candle. Whenever there is expansion, you have to anticipate a retracement back to that expansion 50% range. Sorry. And back to that expansion 50% range, and then expect the price to then melt. Right. So that was that. And then if you go on this, you notice that we had accumulation. Okay, accumulation, but London session consolidated. instead of expanding, right? So given that London section was consolidating, you want the next section to manipulate. You want the next section to manipulate. Accumulation, accumulation, accumulation. You want the next section to manipulate. When two sections accumulate, the next section will manipulate and then distribute. And this is what occurred here. This is what occurred here. And I took this trade. I took the buy this place at this point here. This was my buy position at this point. Then I took it and then started going high. So that was basically it. That's it. So yeah, we'll be dropping another next video maybe on Friday. So till then, stay paid.